Hello students, and in this session I will discuss how will you represent an event in set form. So verbal description of event and set notation of event. Not A means not happening of the event A, it is noted by A bar or A dash or A complement. A or B or both, it is denoted by A union B. A and B. A and B means A intersection B. Event A but not B. Then it is denoted by A and B bar or B naught. Neither A nor B. A bar intersection B bar, or by De Morgan law this is also equal to A union B whole bar. Exactly one of A or B, that is A happens and B does not happen, that is A intersection for and union for or B intersection A naught, that is B happens and A does not happen. At least one of A, B or C. At least one of A, B or C means either A or B or C, that is A union B union C. All three A, B and C, then it is noted by A intersection B intersection C. Exactly two of A, B and C. If there are three events and the exactly two events happen, then it is noted by A and B happens, that is A intersection B intersection C complement means C does not happen, or A and C happens, that is A intersection C and B does not happen, intersection B complement, or B intersection C, B and C happens and A does not happen. And neither A nor B nor C, that is A bar A complement intersection B complement and intersection C complement. By De Morgan's law, it is also equal to A union B union C. So in this way we can represent some events using set notation. After this I will discuss mutually exclusive and exhaustive events. Now I will discuss mutually exclusive events. To explain this, I will consider one example. If I throw a coin and then the sample space, if I throw a die, then the sample space consists of the elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are the outcomes if a die is thrown. Now let us consider two events. First event, getting an even number. Getting an even number. This event is E1. Getting an odd number. On throwing a die, getting an odd number. This is event E2. Now these two events, getting an even number, this consists of the elements 2, 4, 6. And E2 consists of the elements 1, 3, 5. Now these two events are mutually exclusive. Mutually exclusive means no element is common in the two events. E1 intersection E2 is 5 here. No element is common. And if one of the event happens, then the other cannot happen. If If you get an even number, then you cannot get an odd number. So these type of events in which no element is common are known as mutually exclusive event. If one of these events happens, then the other event cannot happen. Now one more type I will discuss, exhaustive events. In the same example, if I take union of these two events, E1 union E2, then I get the sample space S. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all are there. So if on finding the union of two or more events we get the sample space, then those two or more events are said to be exhaustive. And if both the properties are there, means pairwise there is no element common, and on finding the union of the events you get the sample space, then the set of such events is called mutually exclusive and exhaustive, if both properties are there. So in this case, these two events, that is getting an even number and getting an odd number on throwing a die, is mutually exclusive as well as exhaustive set of events. So if we generalize the events, if there are two or more events, suppose there are n events, E1, E2, E3 up to En, and if you find the pairwise intersection, that is E1 EI intersection EJ, here I is not equal to j, and this value I and j varies from 1 to n, can vary from 1 to n, then I intersection EJ is equal to phi. In that case, those two events will be mutually exclusive events, and means all these events, if E1 intersection E2 is phi, E2 intersection E3 is phi, then they can be said as pairwise mutually exclusive. And if on finding the union of these events, that is E1 union E2 union E3 and up to union En is equal to, we get the sample space S, then these set of events are said to be mutually exclusive and exhaustive set of events. So I think you have understood which events are mutually exclusive and exhaustive. Now axiomatic approach to probability means the probability of an event is based on certain axioms. So let us consider the sample space S, which for an event a random experiment which consists of the elements omega 1, omega 2, omega 3 up to omega n. That is, the sample space consists of n sample points. Then for each sample point, probability of omega I lies between 0 and 1. Here omega I belongs to sample space S and I varies from 1 to n. First point. Probability of each elementary event lies between 0 and 1. Means it cannot be negative. It cannot be more than 1. Second point. Sum of the probabilities of each elementary event, that is probability of omega 1 plus probability of omega 2 plus probability of omega 3 plus up to probability of omega n, the sum is equal to 1. That is, we can say sigma p omega I varies from 1 to n, this is equal to 1. Means the sum of all the elementary events in the sample space is equal to 1. Third point. If an event A consists of some elements omega 1, omega 2, for example omega 3, then the sum of probabilities of the probability of A is the sum of the probabilities of omega I. In this case I varies from 1 to 3, means the sum of the probabilities of all the elementary events in this compound event A. Now these all events, elementary events, are equally likely. So if let the probability of each elementary event be P, then there are n events, so P plus P, probability of each is P, so P plus P up to n times is equal to 1. So NP, because there are n elements in the sample space, so NP is equal to 1, or probability is equal to 1 upon n. So probability of each elementary event, if these events are equally likely, means all have the equal chances of happening, then the probability of each event is equal to elementary event is equal to 1 upon n. And suppose an event A happens in which consists of suppose m elements. Suppose this event consists of A happens and it consists of m elements, then the probability of A will be equal to m into 1 upon n. So what is m? M is the elements favorable to the event A. Upon n is the total number of outcomes. So we can conclude that the formula for the event A is equal to number of favorable outcomes upon total number of outcomes. So with this, this topic is over, axiomatic approach to probability. Addition theorem of probability. So let us start with two events. So if two events are attached with the word or, A or B. Now in sets, you know, if there are two sets A and B, and this is the region A intersection B, and you all are familiar with this formula, A and A union B is equal to NA plus NB minus NA intersection B. So these events consist of some elements which are contained in set A, set B, and the common elements are A intersection B. then if the total number of elements in the sample space be ns, so if I divide both sides by ns, then na union b up ns is equal to na upon ns plus nb upon ns minus na intersection b upon ns for two events A and B. Now number of elements in A union B upon ns, this is the probability of A union B, is equal to probability of A plus nb upon ns means probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. So if there are two events A and B associated with a random experiment which contains n elements in the sample space, then probability of A or B is equal to probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. This is known as addition theorem for two events A and B. If these two events are mutually exclusive, if the event A and B are mutually exclusive, in that case A intersection B is equal to phi, or the number of elements in A intersection B is equal to 0, or we can say the probability of A intersection B is equal to 0 if A and B are mutually exclusive. Then this formula reduces to probability of A or B is equal to probability of A plus probability of B. So if A and B are mutually exclusive, then the formula is probability of A union B is equal to probability of A plus probability of B. Now if we have three events A, B and C associated with a random experiments containing a sample space having n elements, then probability of A, in the same way we can derive the formula for probability of A union B, A or B or C is equal to probability of A plus probability of B for three events. Plus probability of B plus probability of C minus probability of A intersection B minus probability of B intersection C, that is B and C, minus probability of C intersection A plus probability of A intersection B intersection C. So this is the formula for finding for addition theorem for three events A, B and C. Probability of A union B union C is equal to PA plus PB plus PC minus PA intersection B, that is PA and B, probability of B and C, probability of C and A plus probability of A and B and C. Now if A, B, C are mutually exclusive, if events A, B, C are mutually exclusive, A, B, C are mutually exclusive, that is no element is common in A and B, B and C and C and A, or A and B and C, and in that case, in the same way as we did here, the probability of each of these pairs will be equal to 0, that is probability of A intersection B probability 0, probability of B intersection C is 0, probability of C intersection A is 0, and probability of A intersection B intersection C is equal to 0. So this formula number 3 reduces to probability of A union B union C is equal to PA plus PB plus PC if ABC are mutually exclusive. If event A, B, C are mutually exclusive, then probability of A union B union C is equal to probability of A plus probability of B plus probability of C. Simple addition of the three events. Now if A and B are two events associated with a random experiment, A and B are two events associated with a random experiment. Then the probability of A only, that is probability of A happens but B does not happen. A happens but B does not happen, this reason. This region represents A minus B. This bubbled region represents A minus B or A intersection B complement. That is only A happens here. So probability of A intersection B complement is equal to this whole circle minus this common region, that is probability of A minus probability of A intersection B. Now if B happens only, then probability of B happens and A does not happen. Exactly one of the event B happens, then probability of B happens and A does not happen, and this is the region, this crossed is the region which represents only B, that is this circle minus this common region. So this is equal to probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. Now if you want to find the probability exactly one of the events happens, probability of A happens or probability of B happens, and you can see from the diagram that these two events, this region, these are mutually exclusive, nothing is common here. So this will be equal to probability of A intersection B complement plus probability of B intersection A complement. We are talking about probability of exactly one event happens, one event, that is A happens or B does not happen, or B happens and A does not happen. In that case, this is equal to probability of A minus probability of A intersection B plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B, that is probability of A plus probability of B minus twice of probability of A intersection B. This is also equal to probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B minus probability of A intersection B. And you know these three equal to A union B, so this is also equal to probability of A union B minus probability of A intersection B, which is very much clear from this whole A union B region. If you remove this region, then exactly A happens or exactly B happens, we can get. So if exactly one of the events happen, in that case we can find using this formula, that is PA probability is equal to PA plus PB minus twice of probability of A intersection B. Now, one more theorem must be kept in mind, that A intersection B is a subset of A, and A is a subset of A union B. So we can say probability of A union B is less than or equal to probability of A is less than or equal to probability of A intersection B, and this is less than or equal to probability of A plus probability of B, because probability of A union B is equal to PA plus PB minus PA intersection B. That is, probability of A union B will be less than or equal to this, and A is a subset of A union B, so the probability of A is less than probability of A union B, and A intersection B is a subset of A, so probability of A so this must be kept, this inequality must be kept in mind while solving the question problems of probability. So with this I conclude today's session. Like and subscribe my channel for new videos and press the bell icon. Thank you, students.